They stop the train and drop the hologram. The wagon is not a normal fancy car. It is actually a full laboratory the passengers can use to work on the case. At that moment, Gus speaks to everyone, asking them to research a way to stop the Foretold, and that the only reason they managed to get it on the train had been the scroll hanging on the wall, which the Foretold follows everywhere it goes. The scroll is protected by another suppression field, and if the passengers refuse to work, they will just die one by one at the hands of the mummy. While they discuss how to proceed, the lights flicker, and the Foretold appears for Morehouse. Showing no sympathy for the poor professor, the doctor asks him to describe what he sees to help them with the investigation. This way his death will count for something. Morehouse describes the mummy as best as he can, but he is in a panicking state, therefore not in the right mind for scientific conclusions. Bargaining with the mummy does not work as the stories say, and the Foretold kills Morehouse when the 66 seconds end. Moments later, Clara calls the doctor to offer some interesting news. It turns out the sarcophagus is actually a stasis unit where the Foretold is supposed to go if they can capture it. They have also found some paperwork indicating this experiment has been tried before and all the other crews failed. While the doctor talks to Clara, Gus keeps asking him to hang up, yet the doctor will not obey. As punishment, Gus depressurizes the kitchen room, which releases the cooks into space, instantly killing them. As the doctor finally hangs up to avoid more trouble, he hears Gus say that more disobedience will result in the death of other less valuable passengers, which makes the doctor wonder how such a thing is chosen. Thinking the Foretold may not be killing at random, the group looks at the history of the victims. Mrs. Pitt had been very old, therefore the most fragile person on board. The chef had a rare blood condition, the guard had synthetic lungs, and Morehouse suffered from panic attacks. This means Foretold picks off the weakest first. Nervous and scared, Quell confesses he came back from war with PTSD, so he is likely to be next, which is confirmed when the lights flicker again and the Foretold appears in the wagon. Not caring about comforting a man about to die, the doctor asks for as many details as possible, even trying to get in the Foretold's path. The mummy does not care though, it just walks through the doctor, and when Quell tries to move away, the Foretold simply teleports and kills the captain when the 66 seconds run out. People around the body try to grieve, but the doctor is obsessed with solving the case. 66 seconds is too exact to be organic. That detail plus the ability to teleport indicate the Foretold must be some kind of tech. Perkins calls him cold and arrogant, but the doctor keeps brainstorming, coming to the conclusion that Foretold has been around since ancient times because its tech drains the energy from the living, which he confirms with a quick scan of the captain's body. The 66 seconds is the time the tech needs to enter the feeding phase. Taking into account all these details, Perkins thinks the next victim is obvious. Maisie is going through psychological trauma after her grandmother's death. Gus agrees and allows the doctor to call Clara, asking her to bring Maisie over in order to study her incoming death. This is incredibly cold of him, but Clara sees they have no choice and lies to Maisie, telling her she must go to the wagon so they can protect her. Because now they are necessary for the experiment, Gus opens the lock and allows the girls to leave. On their way to the wagon, Clara sees the TARDIS and notices there is a force field around it. At the lab, Clara confronts the doctor about the force field, and he confesses Gus is keeping them from leaving because it brought them here on purpose. The doctor has always known this train equaled trouble and was not just a relaxing break. Gus had contacted the TARDIS multiple times to ask for his help. Clara is furious because she was lied to again, and now she has become a liar too. She considers telling Maisie the truth, but she is interrupted by the lights flickering again. The Foretold appears for Maisie, but the doctor jumps in between, using his scanner to absorb her grief and trauma and implant them in his own mind. Now the Foretold thinks he is the weakest person and the doctor can see the mummy instead of Maisie, which makes him very excited. He comes closer to the Foretold on purpose, knowing he will not die until the 66 seconds pass, and notices some writing under the bandages that matches the scroll on the wall. If the Foretold is willing to kill for the scroll, it must be something so important that people will die for it. The doctor comes to the conclusion the scroll is actually a flag and the mummy is a wounded soldier that they used for experiments. The tech inside its body will not let the war end in its mind, thus the doctor yells, "We surrender," to finish that war. The trick works, and now everyone can see the Foretold saluting before finally disintegrating into dust. The case has been solved, but now they are not needed anymore. Gus is ready to kill them all. Determined to save them, the doctor grabs the tech from the mummy and fiddles with it to activate it right before the train explodes. Moments later, Clara wakes up at a beach with the doctor and the TARDIS nearby. The doctor explains he used the mummy's tech to teleport everyone to the nearest civilized planet. He also tried to hack into Gus, but security measures did not allow him to track the creator of this experiment. Clara finally understands the doctor had always intended to save everyone, and he lied to her and Maisie while pretending to be heartless to avoid Gus seeing through his plan. Afterward, the doctor shows Perkins around the TARDIS, offering him to be the next companion, but Perkins turns the offer down because he does not like the moral issues this kind of adventure comes with. After Perkins is gone, Clara gets a call from Danny, asking if she'll be home soon. Clara says she will be, but after hanging up, she lies to the doctor and tells him Danny is okay with her traveling some more time, and so is she. The doctor is delighted by this news, and together, they activate the TARDIS to go on their next adventure.